If you are a beauty consultant, makeup artist, hairstylist, image consultant, or personal stylist, how do you stand out in your industry when you're selling the same products or offering the same service as others in your industry? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Well, hey friends, it's Dawn. Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me today. In my last video, we talked about personal branding, what it is and why it matters. So if you have not watched that video yet, I will link it in the description box below, so make sure you check it out. So in the last video, I talked about one of the things that's really important as you're building your personal brand is determining what sets you apart and what makes you different. How can you stand out in your industry? Because I know a lot of my viewers are in the beauty and style, the image industry. So you might be a beauty consultant, you might be a makeup artist, you might be a hairdresser, another stylist or image consultant, and you are wondering how you can stand out in your industry. What makes you different from everyone else? So what I want to do is I want to walk you through some questions that you could ask yourself to start to explore this a little bit more. So this process is a process of self-reflection and analyzing your skills, talents, education, and experience. So I'm going to go through 10 points, and each point has 2 questions underneath of it. So we have 20 questions in total, and all of this is going to be available in my blog. So don't worry about taking notes. You can simply go to my latest blog post. I will link that in the description box as well. And you can jot it down or even print the blog out so you can start to ask yourself these questions, maybe journal the answers. So first up, let's talk about your unique strengths and talents. So the first question I want you to ask yourself are, what are some of the unique skills and talents that you have that are rare in your industry? So to get you started, I'm going to answer some of these questions along the way of what I would do if I were looking at these questions and maybe journaling out the answers, just to kind of help you get started a little bit. So for those of you that have been watching my channel since the beginning, you know that I started my channel back in 2020 because I am a Mary Kay independent beauty consultant, and I wanted a way to be able to show my clients the products. I had actually moved to a different state, and so it was a little bit challenging for me to get together in person with my clients like I used to. And I love doing one-on-one appointments, and I can do those over Zoom or FaceTime, but I wanted to be able to really show the products to a lot of my clients kind of at the same time and let them watch when it was convenient for them. So I had started out doing videos on Facebook, but I realized that a lot of my clients were actually not on social media or not on Facebook. And so YouTube was a great option for me because I could record the video and it was out there. They could watch it at any time that was convenient for them. Now, along the way, I've got a lot of other people that started watching my channel, such as other Mary Kay consultants. And then about a year after I started my channel, I actually became certified in color analysis. And that is the unique skill or talent that I have that is going to set me apart from others in that Mary Kay world. Now, that's not to say that no one else in Mary Kay is certified in color analysis. I know for a fact that there are some, because there's actually quite a few that are trained in the same company as me, Style by Color. But it does set me apart from the average Mary Kay consultant that I know. I don't believe anyone else in my unit is certified in color analysis. So that is something that I could look at as a unique skill or talent that is going to set me apart. That's what we're talking about when we're looking at this question. The next question are, what are past experiences that have shaped your abilities and perspective in a way that sets you apart from others? So we all have a different path to where we are today. And so what are those things that have occurred along the way that could set you apart, that can make you stand out from others in your industry? Okay, number 2, passions and interest. So the next question I want you to ask yourself is, what aspects of your work do you feel most passionate about? Is there something that you do that is just like, you go super deep, you're so interested in it, you're constantly learning more and growing, and you really just want to tell everybody about that piece of what you do? Maybe you're a hairdresser, and maybe for you, it is learning all about how to do a certain technique with coloring hair. So maybe you are a color specialist, and that's what sets you apart. Or maybe you're a stylist and you're really passionate about helping women to organize their closets and curate a custom wardrobe for them. So figure out what it is that you're super passionate about, and you're gonna write that answer down. Now, the next question is how you can integrate your personal interests and hobbies into your professional life. So this actually has been me the whole way. I've always loved makeup and style. That is something, as a teenager, I would sit in my room for hours on end and look through magazines, and I was just obsessed with everything fashion and beauty and style. And so by having a business that goes into that, it's just like the best of both worlds, because I get to do what I love and I get to share that with other women. Number 3 is market needs and gap. So you're going to ask yourself, what are the current trends and challenges in your industry? Because we know that the industries change from time to time, from decade to decade. So doing makeup now versus doing makeup maybe 20, 30, 40 years ago looks a little bit different. So what are the current challenges? I would say right now, challenges are social media. We didn't have that. When I started back in the mid-90s, social media wasn't something I had to think about. And so now that is something that I really have to think about. It's a challenge for some of us to learn. Every time we turn around, it seems like there's a different social media platform, and we have to learn how to navigate some of that. And so what are some of those challenges, and maybe challenges that are unique to your industry or, again, your product that you sell? So if you're in a specific industry and you notice a gap and you look around and you don't really see a lot of other people addressing that issue, why not you? What could you do to set yourself apart? Maybe address that specific concern or need in your industry, and then others would look to you. Number 4 is the value proposition. What unique value do you offer to your customers or clients? That's what you want to think about. What makes you unique? What sets you apart? What is something that can help you to stand out? And then think about how you can communicate that effectively. So what does that look like? Does it look like writing a blog? Does it look like having a YouTube channel? Does it look like a weekly newsletter? Does it look like speaking? What does that look like? How do you communicate that to others, whether that is your current clients, potential customers, maybe colleagues, others in your industry? How do you communicate your unique value proposition? Next, number 5, we're going to talk about your professional and personal brand. So the first question to ask yourself, what kind of professional reputation do you want to build? And then kind of go a little bit deeper. How do you want to be perceived by others in your industry, by your clients, by your peers, by your colleagues? How do you want them to perceive you? And so one of the things that I do with my clients when I work with them one-on-one is we build out a signature style statement. So we look at words that we want to use to identify how we see ourselves, and specifically the most successful version of ourselves. And then we're going to curate our closet to encompass those words, to project that image. And we can also do the same thing with our personal brand. So if I have value words, if I have a mission statement, if I have a vision statement, how can I show up every time I'm with a client or I'm online to represent those words? Number 6, continual learning and development. So ask yourself what new skills or knowledge you could acquire to stay ahead in your field. Let's go back to me. Again, when I added the color analysis to what I was already doing, it put me ahead as far as what services I could offer others in my industry. So it allowed me to have an advantage. It allowed me to have that knowledge that I knew that I could recommend the most flattering makeup colors for my clients. That is an edge or an advantage that I have because I chose to invest in myself and in my business. So then ask yourself, how could you leverage ongoing education or certifications to differentiate yourself? Now, I know, again, a lot of Mary Kay consultants watch my channel, so that's why I refer to that a lot. But I know in Mary Kay, we have advanced certifications that we can get. We can become an advanced product consultant, an advanced color consultant. There's different education models that we can go through. We can add badges to our personal website, and we can let our clients or potential clients know that we have these advanced certifications that can help you to stand out. If somebody is looking for a consultant in your area and they go to the consultant locator and they're browsing through a list of consultants, you could stand out if you have those additional certifications. So again, you may not be a beauty consultant and you're watching this, that's okay. What could you do in your industry that could make you stand out? You should always be looking for opportunities to continue your education, continue growing, continue learning, and continue your own personal development and professional development. Number 7, innovation and creativity. So ask yourself, how could you approach problems differently or offer innovative solutions? So if you're in a specific industry, you probably offer pretty much the exact same service that someone else in your industry does. If you are a personal stylist, you probably offer a very similar service to most other personal stylists. What could you offer that's a little bit different? Is there a problem that you could solve? That's what our clients look to us for. Our clients have problems and they look to us to solve them. What is that for you? Right now, my potential clients are those who are entrepreneurs in the beauty space, because that is who's consuming my content for the most part. I know some of you guys are not entrepreneurs, but for the most part, those that watch my YouTube channel are entrepreneurs in the beauty space, whether that is makeup, skincare, image, color, whatever it is. And so hello, Onyx. Sorry about that, guys. I got a little bit sidetracked there. So what problem do my viewers have that I can help them solve? Right now, I am helping you solve the problem of becoming your own personal brand and setting yourself apart. And then a follow-up question to that, or what are some of the creative approaches that you can apply to your work that others might not consider? So just brainstorm. Think about some things that you could do, again, to differentiate yourself, to become innovative, to have a different strategy or a different way to solve those problems. So spend a lot of time brainstorming and coming up with different problems and different solutions and ways that you can address them that are different than what you are already seeing out there. All right, we only have 3 more categories to go. So let's talk about number 8, networking and relationships. So ask yourself, how can you build strong relationships or connections with key industry players? How can you network with others in your industry? Listen, I was at an event this past weekend, and the event was hosted by Style by Color, which is the company that I'm certified with for my color analysis and image consulting. And there were 40 women from all across the country who were there, who have been trained by Style by Color. We are all image consultants. We are all certified as color analysts or color specialists. But yet we all have an individual and unique take on how we serve clients in our communities. Some of us, like me, are pairing it with a current business that we already had, offering makeup and skincare. Some are helping nonprofits. Others are doing color analysis pop-ups at boutiques. Others own a boutique. There were speakers, there were authors, there were so many different women there. And the thing that was the most amazing, we were there to share. We were there to learn, but we were there to share our ideas with each other, because we know that when women work together and they help to build each other up, we build a stronger community. So instead of looking at others in our industry as competition, let's look at each other as resources. Let's look at each other as ways that we can learn and grow and hold each other accountable and just really build a stronger industry, whatever that industry is in. Because here's the thing, even though you might be in a small town and you might think, well, there's not room for, 2 color specialists in this town, or there's not room for, 10 different personal stylists. I promise you there is. You guys, there are like 8 billion people on this planet. There are so many different ways to serve clients, and you are going to bring your unique perspectives and gifts and talents. And this is what we're talking about with all these questions. What makes you different? I heard a conversation this past weekend that was talking about a book. We had quite a few ladies in our room that had written a book. And, someone might think to themselves, I really want to write a book, but you know what? There's already so many people that have written a book on that specific topic. Why would I write a book? Because it's already been said. Everybody's already talked about this topic. But here's the thing, no one has written the book with your voice. That's what we're talking about. You bring a unique voice to whatever it is that you're doing. So don't worry that there's other people in your community that are doing the same thing as you. Ladies, they are not your competition, because the clients that are going to be attracted to them are going to be attracted to them. The clients that are going to be attracted to you are going to be attracted to you. And if we can remove the competition and look at each other for collaboration, we are going to go so much further. And so I really want you to think about that. But I think I'm getting a little bit sidetracked. So let's talk about the next question here. And that is, who are the mentors or influencers that you can learn from? You guys, when I started my YouTube channel, again, for my Mary Kay business, I was watching other people that had YouTube channels talking about Mary Kay products. And I did not look at them as competition. I looked at them to learn from them. Who can you look to in your industry to learn from? And listen, if you are experienced, if you have built a successful brand, who can you mentor? Because that's what this is all about. We want to have a sisterhood of women in this industry that are supporting each other. I really encourage you to change your mindset to that of collaboration and not competition. Number 9, contribution and impact. The question I want you to ask yourself is, how can you make a meaningful impact in your community or your industry? Is there a way that you can take what you do and serve others? And, maybe you're like, Dawn, I got into this business because I need to make money. Hey, I understand. I need to make money too. But is there a way that I could serve others, maybe at a local nonprofit in my industry? Is there a way I could mentor others, just like I talked about a moment ago? What ways can you use your gifts, your talents, your skills, your business to give back and pour into others? So then ask yourself, what initiatives you could lead or participate in to contribute positively to your field. Last up is number 10, personal growth and well-being. So I want you to ask yourself, how can you balance professional growth and personal well-being? Super important, you guys. I know a lot of us that are entrepreneurs can really become workaholics. And although I get a lot of enjoyment out of work, it's super important that I have a balance in my life, that I spend time with friends and family, and I take a few evenings or days a week that I don't work my business, that I, maybe have a night on the couch where I'm binging, Netflix or something. Or I take a day and go to the park and walk for an hour or two. So how are you balancing those professional goals and, that really strong work ethic, and making sure that you're allowing yourself time for rest and rejuvenation? And then ask yourself what lifestyle changes you can make to support long-term success and happiness. Because I don't know about you, but I love my career in this industry, and I want to be able to have a very long career. I want to do this for a very, very long time, well into my retirement years. I don't really intend on retiring from this for a very long time. Even if I retire from my corporate career, I want to continue to do this. I want to continue to work with women, empower women, and really just be in this space. I love this community. So how can I build a lifestyle that feels like it's sustainable? How can I continue to work this business that is not creating burnout, that is not creating, this sense of like, oh my gosh, I'm so overworked and I really just need a break all the time? So what are some changes I can make in my lifestyle that can allow me to have this success that I want but also is sustainable. So those last two questions, I wouldn't say are necessarily tied to like what sets you apart or, your unique personal brand, but I think they're just really important questions to ask yourself as you're moving forward in developing your personal brand and really moving forward with your business. So I really hope that this list was super helpful for you. Again, I have it all written out in my blog. You can just go over there and just click print if you want to do that. And then you can start to journal these answers. But this is really their next step is once you know what personal branding is and why it's important, these are the questions to ask yourself before we move into some of the next phases of creating that personal brand. So reflecting on these questions are going to help you to identify your unique qualities. They're going to help you align your career path with your passions, and most importantly, help you find ways to stand out in your industry. So if you are enjoying this series, I want to make sure that you are following me. So hit that subscribe button. If you want to turn on the notifications, you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. And if it was helpful to you, make sure you're sharing it with a friend as well, because I'm sure you have other friends in your industry who are working on the same thing, growing their personal brand. So if you found the video helpful, make sure that you give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, friends.